has already borne fruit in the Carabao Cup. United.
Yeah, moving on to the other captain in the side, Bruno Fernandes. He's had to quiet some noise down recently as well with the furore around his Liverpool performance, but has done that with really good contribution all year. This famous old pill, if you need a bit of support. But no, they're a great side, and this is a strong lineup, and players bang in form as well. Clear favourites, I would say, here this afternoon.
FA Cup venue today was at Craven Cottage. Bruno Fernandes had to face up there. That could have been costly for Fulham, but Diop did well with the defensive header. Full significance, and will be put on hold by referee Chris Kavanagh.
It's a frustrating part of the game, isn't it? You can't look. It takes a bit of an elbow there, but it's definitely not that sort. I just don't think you should disrupt the game for that. Doesn't help it as an entertainment product for me.
No, and it's a big issue at the moment, Matt, isn't it, about time added on that we saw in the World Cup, of course, extravagant numbers. And I was quite happy with that because I think the fans are getting what they want, but it does extend the viewing experience, if you like, in a good way. If you believe you want to see 60-65 minutes of the ball in play, if you need to get that train home, and it's not quite so advantageous. And indeed, if you're scheduling back-to-back television games as a broadcaster, it causes a little bit of a problem. Not a problem that can't be solved, to be honest with you. I would rather have the minutes. He would have a view on it, I'm sure. Fergie time, that was always certainly not quite in the numbers we saw in Qatar, but it was sometimes longer than expected. Not what he won. They're still going.
I was going to say, it definitely works.
Yeah.
I mean, having stood in the middle of this stadium in the pitch, never won here. I mean, it is intimidating to come and face his teams. Was especially intimidating as well. And so that's why so few teams.
And again. He thought about it, Chris Kavanagh. He's let quite a few things go, to be fair, which is something I think we as broadcasters support, as long as nobody gets seriously injured.
It's a clear foul, clear contact, ball shielded by Reed. The side have been poor in this opening quarter of an hour. I'm sure.
Here's one of them now from Bruno Fernandes. Sancho's in the middle. Good hands from Bernd Leno.
Yeah, be pleased to have a bit of involvement. This is a lovely ball. Benzie's run really well. That little look is the important bit. Knows the area that he's just trying to hit. Can't quite get enough bend on that ball away from the goalkeeper.
Bissaka. Fernandes. Kept in by Reed. And again, it's turned Bruno Fernandes. Goalkeeper for the Cottagers.
He's done well, Tite. And we see that body position, gets his feet turned, that's why he's able to make the header. So he's turned side on, allows him to get that leap. Just a bit of a contrast to what we highlighted with Wambi.
He's a little bit nervous for the young and the old supporters. But they're on a great run, generally. He's got another route. There's a bit of traffic on it. No one there to benefit from it. Fernandes goes back to Sancho. It involves Bruno Fernandes, and Willian gets great cheers from the Fulham fans these days. Always been a fine player since he joined Manchester United, but his image has been a little bit tarnished by some, how should we say, wayward behaviour, which he's been at best to apologise for, mostly. But he's trying to get involved in the game here. But his pass completion not as good as it usually is.
And then while you're playing well, are you good enough to go and get another one?
Nice touch by Weghorst. Back to Bruno Fernandes, nicely reversed to him by Rashford. Playing against.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough chance once it comes back to him. Of course, as the target man, that's really difficult. To open yourself up, take that on your right foot is really tough. Better chance off the left with more power with the laces.
Fernandes, an angle that was acceptable to the referee, but not to the assistant.
Just the angle, really. I think you probably feel like he plays the ball. No, it doesn't really. Never. It's just lazy. You know, if he takes another 2 strides, he's going to run alongside him. Just lazy conceding the free kick.
There's a deflection.
They're not sure quite where the pass was going, but take what you can at this stage.
Well, when they were in a hole against West Ham, corners came to their rescue. They got an own goal for Aguirre in this kind of situation. Pulled it back to 1-1. Bypass the man in the front zone. Tete. Shaw by the near post. Swinging it again, Bruno. Under pressure from the card. His team under pressure from the foul. Bruno Fernandes looking for a red rescue package here. Set up for Sancho. And, it's Sancho round the goalkeeper. Open goal. Blocked on the line by Willian. With what?
With his hand in front of his chest. That's interesting. Admitting his guilt, but how it'll be looked at.
Well, if it's a penalty, it's a sending off as well. Going to be a clear and obvious error. Neil Swarbrick on VAR duty.
When he moves the arm, doesn't he? That's the bit that doesn't look great. I understand if it hits in front of your body and your arm hasn't moved, but there's a dipping, I would say. Be tight to give. Yeah,
well, that looks from that angle doesn't do
you've got to give
him any favours, I don't think. He's waiting for instructions. Chris Kavanagh.
Can absolutely understand why he doesn't give it in real time. The referee, it's exactly how VAR should be used.
But we didn't really see it clearly in real time. He's going to have a look at it now, and I think this might just turn this tie back towards Manchester United.
Sancho's done really well. Composure for the first time, beats the goalkeeper. Tough to see with that reverse angle. It's this one, it's this movement. Certainly not natural arm position. Dips in there.
It's a red card for Willian. It's a penalty for Manchester United, and suddenly Fulham's great efforts. Well, I think it's a red card for Willian. He's gone back looking at it. He produced a card.
I think it's probably for one of the coaches.
Yeah, maybe.
Is it?
Marco Silva. Probably. Well, if he's not 100% sure, what's he going to do?
He's going to turn it over. Has to.
Penalty. And Willian knows what's following.
Got to make sure they don't finish here with 8 or something and make it a proper farce. That doesn't help anybody. It certainly doesn't help them. And actually, there is no injustice here. Like VAR, for all its sceptics and all the criticism it's had, that is the system working perfectly.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to give it without going to the monitor. So, anyway, Bruno Fernandes is the regular penalty taker for Manchester United, but by no means the only one. But he's stepping up here. And it's 1-1. And that's about the only thing it's level on at the moment, is the scoreline.
Well, I thought it looked a bit silly when I was saying, would Fulham take penalties 20 minutes or so ago? And they definitely would do now. And that was from a situation where they've ended up going ahead, but tough to see from here how they survive. Just got to sit in defensively. That's such a hard skill. It makes it look so easy. Have that awareness of where the goalkeeper's going. Release of pressure all round.
Well, his side hold all the aces now. That's the red card for handball on the line by Willian. And then what Mitrovic was up to, only he can explain. So his first ever FA Cup goal to get them this far.
Every chance to get that.
Everton, Reading and West Ham. I don't think it helped that Marco Silva was one of the first to get it. The game turned on its head in terms of numbers of Manchester United goals and numbers of extra Manchester United players. In here. Fernandes trying to tease it in. Changes, including Bruno Fernandes. There's some of these Manchester United players out there who want another goal.
Of course, would definitely take one, wouldn't he?
Yeah, definitely would. Same with Sancho, I think.
And this is the problem. And it's so frustrating as a player.
Deal with. Been quite a crazy thing to do. And Bruno Fernandes, he thought he might have scored.
He's ended up with a load of chances from a situation where, when it was 11v11, he hardly had a kick.
In the second minute of added time, Bruno Fernandes, the penalty scorer. Jadon Sancho, discipline of the opposition. They're back in contention. So in the circumstances, it was a very good penalty from Bruno Fernandes, right in the bottom corner. Here he is again. Conductor's role, really. Looking for Fred, who won't get...
Sides find a way. We talked all the way through, didn't we, about how well Fulham were playing and how vulnerable you are at what.
Marco Silva for Hull City, you might recall. Here's Fred with lots and lots of room, as Manchester United should have. Bruno Fernandes. It is 3-1 again, with emphasis. Third round v Everton. Fourth round v Reading. Fifth round v West Ham. Quarter-final against Fulham.
Yeah, it's a fine goal and a fine finish. Obviously, loads of space available, and it's that first touch that sets it up, but it's emphatic with the strike. Seen how cute he can be with the penalties. This is all about power. Big target to aim for. Put the laces through it. No chance for a goalkeeper.
Fulham now have to deal with the disciplinary issues that are coming their way and try and get back on track. Still a chance to pursue European qualification from the Premier League, but this has been a real hammer blow to them, because for good periods of the game they were not just ignoring the goal that put Fulham in front to 1. Arrival pepped up Ten Hag's team. Sancho kept his nerve, kept the ball, and then Willian wasn't judged to have handled it straight away by referee Chris Kavanagh.
VAR doing its job. It's that little touch. He's clever there, Sancho. Just the little dummy. It takes Harrison out of it. Harrison Reed, and then unfortunately with the movement of the arm outside of the body, always going to be given. Correct decision to be made. Unfortunately, mayhem then ensued.
Yes, it started with Marco Silva having a say, and he was sent packing. And then Willian, which was the obvious solution to the problem. We know that that's the laws, and then that's not seemly at all. Mitrovic, who should know a lot better, hot-blooded, hot-tempered, hot from the spot, was Bruno Fernandes. After being 1-0 down and in a bit of trouble, it's 1-1 and they're playing against 9. About 3-1 being the scoreline, Matt, haven't we? And in these circumstances, it's almost inevitable. Hammered in. Bruno gets his second. Manchester United into the semi-finals. And Fulham on a long journey back to southwest London with some wounds to lick. (3-1) the final score. The facts and figures for you. You can see Fulham had 12 attempts, 6 of them on target. They worked very hard, but at the point where discipline was required, they lost it completely. And those 2 red cards don't include the manager, who will be in disciplinary hot water as well. So, failure for Fulham, having built a chance for a rare success at Old Trafford, but they faltered badly in the last half an hour. Well, Mitrovic was making his point. He got his goal. He had another header very well saved. He planted another header wide. But Jadon Sancho was in and out of much of the first hour of the game. Suddenly emerged on the scene, and Anthony arrived as a substitute and did well. Sabitzer got a goal, and Rashford didn't for once. And it was a very important contribution by Anthony, who's been ill, has been out of the team. He is a little bit hit and miss, but he came on, he certainly hit in his period in this match. And Bruno Fernandes, who does get mixed reviews, but is a superb player and made his imprint. The penalty, with all the pressure that was going on, the red cards flashing, he still had to steer it in. He did it impeccably, and he wrapped it all up in the last minute. And a reminder that now, as Brighton against Manchester United, Fulham are out, and Manchester City against Sheffield United, the possibility of a Manchester derby in the FA Cup final is looming large.